It won't. What I did wouldn't matter. If you're judging other people, you're wasting your time, because you're not going to die and going to be accountable for what that person did. You're going to be accountable for what you did. You know, and you could be doing something way more productive with your time and space. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the gifts, guys. So with that being stated, getting back to what I'm saying is that as a woman, you should think more about who you lay down with and get to know a man's mind and make sure you like this man, because you got so many women out here that have children with men they do not like. And how can you say you don't like the man and love the child when the child is the man's soul? It's an oxymoron. You can't say my baby and then hate that man. You can't. Now it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. All these baby mothers out here. It doesn't make sense. And the relationship that you have with your baby father will reflect the relationship you have with that child. Just like with you. Your relationship with your mother reflects the relationship that she had with your father. Let's take more surveys. Let's take more surveys. She's very intelligent. What's up, Storm?
Hey there, God. How are you?
Storm, I'm good.
Yes,
What's your age?
51.
Beautiful. And your mother's on Beagle as well. I would love your mother to come up and have this conversation as well if she could.
Okay, I'll let
Huh?
her know.
She's not available.
I'll let her know I'm not with her, but I'll tell her you're
I'm
seeking
pretty
her.
sure you got a lot of knowledge on this. How many children do you have?
I have 4.
4 children. How many baby fathers?
I have 3.
3. Now, when these children were babies, did you see the father and did you see each father and each child? Did you
Yes,
see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? It's the most amazing thing. And like right here with carbonation, you can literally see the spirit of true in Jaomi. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. You can see the spirit of Nature Boy in Baby Ellie. If you ever was watching it, you can see the spirit of Nubian or Musa in his daughter, right? And
right.
all the way around when we watch this, it's a phenomenal thing to watch. So my question to you is this: have you ever been told that you are your father's child and that you act like your father, or have you seen yourself in your father? So you've seen your
Yes,
father in yourself. Yeah.
I did. I only met my father 3 times because he ran from me. But when I met him, I saw myself. He told me I was the most beautiful of all his daughters and the most powerful. And at the time, I was into Christianity, so I didn't know. And he said he wanted to teach me about good and bad spirits because he's Indian. And now he's dead. But I wish I would have listened back then. But I saw that because, he was a killer. He was into gangs and wars. My father just killed people and stepped over them. But I never physically killed anybody, but I felt his spirit in me. Like I used to see like myself cutting off somebody's neck that made me angry. Or like I remember when I was 12, my mother smacked me one time and I wished something bad. And she came back like, what did you do? She was down the street and her car tire went flat. So it was like, wow, I didn't know about power that I had, good and bad. So I had to control, that power. But yeah, I
Let me ask you
see.
this: how about your mother's father? Have you ever met him?
Yes, yes,
Any traits?
yes,
Any traits?
yes, a lot. Oh, wow.
Your
Yeah,
mother's father is something to examine as well,
wow.
because you share both your mother's father's spirit and your father's spirit mixed in one. This is what
Yes,
you're actually mixing. People say, "Oh,
wow.
it's a mixture between the mother and the father," but it's really the mother's father and the father. And when you look at these two people, that's what you're the manifestation of.
Wow. That's deep.
Hmm.
Yeah, the blood from the child, the father is in the child,
Hmm. So your
and the
mother
mother
is
is just
your
the
mother is her
carrier.
father's child, and she holds her father's spirit in another dimension. You know what I'm saying? So now when we look at it like this, you give a man a little more value than you used to. You're like, wow, I am a man. I am a man. Like I am that soul, that spirit, in a feminine form, right? Because nothing is lost, all is transformed. You know.
Yes.
So I just wanted to. Okay, so let me ask you this before I go. I gotta ask you one more question. With your
Okay.
four children,
Yes.
one of them you have one man you had two children with.
Yes.
Do you see either your father's energy in those children or their father's energy there?
I see. I see it in my son. I have one son, and I would see his father's spirit in him, and that's the one I married. And I'm like, oh. And it's funny because they're both Pisces, so he's born
The
318,
energy
and his
comes
father.
through way more potent because of the yeah.
Yes. And it's funny because he loves me so hard, and my ex keep wanting me back, and so I see like the attacks, the cry out from my son about his father, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like his father crying out through him to get me, and I'm like, oh my God. And until now, you help me seeing this.
Right. And now you can look at your kids different now, like, wow. And then this gives you a sense of power as a woman because you're that gateway. Like, you're like, whoa, I manifested this man's soul. And this is this man's child. And so when you take a child and you're like, this is my baby, it's like, it's kind of cosmically dislawful because, like, wow, like now you have to be more conscious and saying, damn, this child is his father's child. And the thing about it is you learn more of yourself with your father than anything. Your mother is there to nurse and nurture you. But psychologically, you will learn more about yourself through your father and her father. Like,
Yes.
if you really want to know who you are, study those two people. I'm
Okay.
telling you,
I will.
study those two people. Get to know
Yeah.
them and study them, and you will find out that you are the descendant of that.
Thanks, God.
And this doesn't take away from credit from women at all. It actually gives
No.
identity to women, and it actually gives them power to know, like, wow, and makes them become more careful. I appreciate that, Solar.
Now I understand better about me being, I never like to say a woman is strong, but I would like to say resilient. I understand better why I'm resilient because my father was very powerful, very, very powerful.
And that's what I'm saying. Now, when you study yourself as a woman, you realize that form, that the soul transforms or transcends all form. So that's not about the form that you're in. It's just the soul that you are. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Now you can
yes,
see just because I'm a female, that's just my form. My soul is my father.
yes, yes.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's very important. It's very important. So I'm gonna take the next caller. Thanks for calling.
Okay, yes. Peace, God. Love
All right,
you.
peace. I'm gonna take the next caller, but as we sit and think about it, I love you too. Um, as we sit and think about it now our identity, now we have a better sense of identity. Now we have a better sense of self because we can sit down and really look at our fathers and our grandfather on our mother's side, and we can start to understand who the hell we are. Like, damn. And I want you to look at your own kids and start to see
Hi,
it.
peace and blessings to you.
Peace, what's going on?
Great subject.
Smile.
I want to go back to where you are trying to, and it's veering off about producing. Okay. And if you look at that, you see production. So, and I'm deep into this, and we'll stay in contact. So the production of the male sperm is protected by what is called seminal fluid. Okay, you know how the egg, when you break it, the yolk falls, and there's this white, the white that people eat the egg. So the seminal fluid protects us. There are four stages of it. And I'm saying that to say the man's spirit, the man's soul dictates if that child, the strength of the child, like you said, that's in the man.
Hmm.
You have the four steps of it. A child can start to hear you speak to them at 16 weeks. And I know you did that with baby Illy. Illy, she heard your voice, and I could just, when I see her, I see your resilience in her.
Hmm.
A woman who is not prepared or in a state or too anxious to get pregnant, she kind of diminishes or hurts herself, because anything done out of anger, spite, or willingness to show that I am the one, I am the queen, just being honest, it won't work. And I'm saying that for the women who are trying there, they have to relax. They have to get that envy, that jealous spirit off
Y'all
of them.
listening to her? They can hear you. You're
Okay,
so
they
right.
absolutely,
You're so right.
you have to get that spirit out of you and live genuinely. And if they love you the way they profess, they would only want to see you happy. They accepted the arrangement of polygamy. Okay. Once you accept what somebody has given you, then you have to line up. And as the Bible says, you have to do things decent and in order. You cannot get upset with
Well,
what you do and have an attitude. And I see there's one there, and I'm not going to call their names. I think they're all beautifully individually and collective. But you have to be mature enough to say, okay, I decided to be with this man. So his happiness is first and foremost, not forgetting about
I just say
self.
this yesterday. I
Because if
just said,
we
so this
don't,
is the universe. I'm sorry, go ahead. I
because
just said this. Go ahead. Keep going.
no man wants a woman that looks torn down, beat,
Hey, sweetie,
defeated,
you
frown,
listening to it?
um, don't show energy. Energy is everything. And I try to tell people, people say you talk about how the energy affects the body and all that. Okay, when you touch somebody else and you get shocked, you know you're not connected to an outlet. So where is that energy coming from? So in the same way I say that, they need to give off the energy that they're telling you that they want in their love. You cannot profess love and show hate.
You have to, and I
Okay?
always say this. I said you have to, in order for a woman to get pregnant by me, she would have to become totally in submission to me and the flowing of my attitudes and my moods and my mind. She would have to become one because I'm not just any man.
Right. And like you said, you can have sex all the time. But here's the thing.
The resistance.
If you deliver that sperm into a woman, and I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible, who is only jumping on you to say, look, I had him.
Competition.
She's already killed it. Okay?
She's in
And
resistance to the very
right.
journey that we're on. Yeah.
And the resistance part, if your body is in resistance, okay, them to you. If their body is in resistance to you when you lay with them, guess what happens? And I'm going to tell you this, they're not going to tell you. As soon as they sit up from whatever you all do, notice it will run down their leg. Their body rejects it because they're resisting you.
Mentally.
That
Yeah.
makes sense?
Yeah. Mentally. Yeah. Yeah. It does.
Okay.
You're always in
And so
resistance, always in their lower self or triggered by traumas and all of that. You're absolutely right.
all those affects the ability to hold that child in. And I know this is a topic you don't want to talk about,
No, I'm,
but
yes.
I think you're respectful enough to get it.
Yeah.
Velvet. She was a strong, she was a fighter. You understand me?
Yeah.
So that baby couldn't do anything but win in that womb man. Because there was a love. I don't care.
Well,
There's a thin
when you
line
have to
between love
understand
and hate.
when me and Velvet made it, she was completely in submission to me. She wanted it so bad that literally like it had to happen.
Well, I see some of the clips of it. She does, and see, with that being done, this universe has a way of checking us when we don't want to be checked. Because it looked like you carried her and spit her out. She's a beautiful, beautiful baby.
It's because you know
She
what? This woman, like she was a female me. Like when I had when and it was only me and her when we made her. It wasn't no distractions. There was no other woman. It was only
There
me
you
and her.
go.
And she was so
Right,
focused on every word and everything that I did and everything. She absorbed all of me. And I'm not talking about like the regular
right.
relationships out there. We're talking about birth and
Oh,
God.
I'm there with you.
We're talking about birth and
Uh,
gods because I want to let the audience know that we're not talking about just regular, Babylon people that get
right.
pregnant off a damn baby basis.
Yeah.
We're talking about a soul that actually can affect humanity. We're talking about like a real goddess or God coming through. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
so I've always been an advocate, especially where it comes with children. See, I have three boys, and I have a masculine spirit, but I'm very feminine. But I have their strength. Every embryo produced is a female. The sex doesn't get determined till about 7, 9 weeks later. And in that time, your sperm in her is dictating. I don't know what you did. I don't know you from a man in the moon. But I guarantee you, when she found out she was pregnant, you nurtured her body. I'm talking about hugs, kisses, the rubs, the finesse. So you enabled her to build that strength because we create a sac around our babies. So that sac was created, that seminal fluid was able to grow. So I don't know why people think and they say, well, the water burst. It's that sperm and that seminal fluid separates. The sperm goes to create the embryo. The seminal fluid mixes with the mom to form the sac to hold the baby.
I feel that if
So
a
that's
woman wants to get pregnant and she, in her mind, wants a relationship bad with you, she can get pregnant with her mind. I just want to say
yes,
this. I think women
yes.
are powerful enough to say if they really desire it, it will happen. Like if they
But
really
there's
obsessed
a
with it, it's gonna
syndrome.
happen.
There's an
Okay.
extra syndrome where women have gained weight and actually thought they were pregnant and get to the doctor and they're not. And for your
The mind is powerful.
youngest, yes, the brain. For your youngest one, let me tell you this. She's a beautiful soul. Doctors do not have the last say in anything. But what I do suggest, and I hope they're listening, let your guards down when loving who you say you proclaim to love. You help one
Oh
another
my goodness,
through it.
this is so fucking crazy. You are an angel at this moment. I just had this conversation last night with my wife. Did I not, y'all? Is
And see,
Malika?
I study spirituality. I don't do the religion thing because religion has turned into a business versus a church, and I don't do that. But I can feel and I get that kinetic energy. So may I speak bluntly?
Absolutely.
Natiri, no. Aya, yes. Ephru, yes. Malia, yes, if put in the right position. She needs to stop competing with her higher self.
Whoa,
She
is she
needs
listening to this?
to she needs to feed herself spiritually on her being. She needs to grow inwardly. So there's no way she can get something put into her inwardly if she's not ready. Her inwardly will show outwardly. These quick bam, bam, bam attitudes, you know what that comes from? That's the gaslighting effect. They put it in themselves. Oh, Baba G smell good. I'm going to kiss him in front of you guys. I'm going to kiss him in front of the cameras. As soon as that shit turns out, the faces are long. Now you got to go in, I'm going to check you mode. So for you, I ask, you know what? Let them check themselves. Because guess what? They're going to slowly check themselves out. What child is going to be created in a body, just you with them, y'all finish, they tighten up, that sperm is leaving. It says, I'm out of here. There's nothing I can do with this resistance. There's absolutely nothing I can do with it.
Yo, this is not even something that we talk about on a panel on a
Right. And
regular
that's why
basis. Like I literally, yo, do you hear this, Malia?
I'm trying to be delicate. I'm trying to be
I'm
delicate with
talking to
my
you.
word.
No,
I'm
let her
trying to
speak for
totally be,
herself.
I'm absolutely trying to be delicate with it.
Where's she at?
My sweetheart Malia, if you have truly made up your mind that you know he's polygamous. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you,
I'm
Nature
talking to
Boy.
you.
But you are a alpha, okay? An
I'm just
alpha
asking you
man,
if you hear.
an alpha man is no good with stragglers. That makes sense?
That's true.
Malia, you have to sit with yourself, sweetheart. You have to remove that negative energy completely out of your body. Your body is an energy source. To have a child, that child needs energy to develop. A woman's womb reacts to her surroundings. So if you don't check yourself, and you can learn how to deal with it, it's not a lost cause. And like I said, I know you went through your sickness or whatever, but that's not the final thing. Your body has to pull its own weight with I'll call you Nature Boy. Has to pull its own weight with Nature Boy because he's such a strong force. Stop looking at these other women and comparing them to you. Malia, you are a beautiful woman. You are a genuine beauty. They all are. But stop second guessing yourself. You in there, you're in this relationship. Now you have to go ahead and deal with the process. You have to stop resisting, because no matter what he does, how many times he does it, if you're with him, and you not even telling me this, Nature Boy, but I guarantee you, when she's with you laying in an intimate setting, she's
Reach to the
thinking
corner.
about the other wives. Am I lying?
Yeah, she is. All the
And
time.
there's no way your body is going to receive that. It's going to
She's
go to the
always
next
thinking
person.
about like or talking about the other woman.
Stop that. Tell her she needs to talk to herself somewhere
Like,
about it, but not in your presence and what she's trying to do.
come in
You
here,
you
Malia.
you have all the components is need. Male sperm can be blocked from entering the uterine cavity when it goes into the, I'm trying to choose my words, when having intercourse. I don't care how far, how big, how deep, whatever, because you can shoot. You know how you do play basketball? I'm a gamer. You shoot the basketball too far and it goes over. So when you have your experience where when you're having sex, you can overshoot because she's so deep into doing it, it's going to overshoot that uterus. She's not just laying there naturally and let you do. Love her, you know, make love to her. And love making is just not a in out. It's everything in there. The body is such a place of natural everything. The body does make everything you need. And here's another thing I want you, and like I said, I've been watching you. There's a natural pill, and you can find it in nature. The jalapeno peppers are natural pain relievers. There's this pill, not pill, vitamin we took in the military. It's called acidophilus. You can look it up. Acidophilus. It's a natural antibiotic, and it especially helps women because yogurt is what they should eat to keep that the yeast at a normal rate and to keep that body flowing. And if they don't have the yogurt, the non-GMO, they have the non-GMO, is acidophilus.
You mean a
You can
probiotic,
look
not
it up.
antibiotic?
Huh?
You mean a probiotic, not an antibiotic?
No, no. It's a natural antibiotic, acidophilus. There are probiotics that the probiotics are used for the digestive system.
Hmm.
And I speak from 28 years of
Spell
experience.
that for me.
ACID. Let me look at my bottle, sweetheart. ACIDOPHYLLIUS, I think. Let me see. ACIDOPHYLLIU.
PHI.
Huh?
PHI. ILIUS.
ACIDOPHILLIUS. Yes, acidophilus.
That's
And
a
it has
probiotic.
probiotic. You can get acidophilus with probiotic in it, but just the 100% acidophilus. Next to it, put 100% natural, and then it'll show you.
And where do you get this at?
You can get it at Walgreens, TV, any natural place. And then, along with the acidophilus, for those who are trying to, you want to get it spelled. You can write it. It's a form of acidophilus, but it's lactobacillus. It's spelled LACTOBACILLUS.
I see it.
And this, okay, this helps the woman's pelvic region. It helps balance. It helps clean. Yeast is natural, but yeast can get infected. And like I said, they have everything and more that they can have there. So I'm all about natural remedies. And then those who you may think have something mental going on, black women, we like our vitamin D3. I know you're in nature, they're outside. When someone is having mental issues, I know you do squats and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. When they're in their head or in their head, upset or whatever, they need to exercise. And what exercise does for black women, it produces B6, not B12. Everybody say B12 for energy. We need B6, natural serotonin. Serotonin is the happy place in you. It makes you rationalize, understand what you
Desensitized.
committed to, and grow on it. I've sent you messages. You'll catch on when you and I've talked back and forth.
Where
But
where
all
where
these,
where you send me messages on IG?
yeah, and you told me exactly when I told you about the fight situation.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I told you now she feels a certain way and that everybody should be bowing to her and all that, and that's not the case.
Right. Say it
But yeah,
again.
those things. And so now that you put produce on there, go into teaching them about production. Because from producing, isn't that what you had to produce? On your laptop, you typed in produce.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I produce. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you go into production of how the male sperm is produced. The male sperm is protected by the seminal fluid because you guys produce it as well as women. So, like I said, their bodies have to be receptive. That ego and shit needs to go out the window. That loving each other genuinely is going to be the only way. And Malia, I speak in a spirit realm and it's not to scare anybody, but sweetheart, your mind has to be at peace with the decisions you have made in life, and you have to be at peace with what you're wanting to receive. And it will all come to pass. It will. But I saw you look that up, and I love learning and talking about words, but you're correctly. And when you on the one sustain, the woman does sustain the pregnancy,
Now, how do you
but
feel
a
about a
week.
woman being pregnant with a man's child and having sex with another man? How do you feel about that?
Okay, let me tell. Okay, let me be transparent. I went through a divorce. When this is me. Everybody's not the same. When I had my son, I went through a divorce. My son is now 28. He can't tell you two. Well, he can. My husband now. He can't tell you three men he's seen his mother with. I don't play that because you never know another man's intention with a small child, be it man, little girl, or little boy. It shouldn't feel right. It should be uncomfortable. And with her face, it's unforgettable. I'm sorry. You know, that should be only you, your father, or whoever in your family. A new man and on the short span is just absolutely a no go with me.
Okay, I agree. I just thought
Okay.
I agree with that. Having being pregnant and having sex with another man, I think that's pretty disgusting.
It is. And if you look genetic wise, when women do that and they're already pregnant, I don't know why women think they can't get pregnant when they're pregnant. This is the biggest myth of society. You know how women have twins and one is by one guy and one is by the other? That's true. Because a man can be so evil and vindictive in his mind, he can get that woman pregnant with an egg that's developing and it splits. And when it splits, all the energy is not on that one anymore. That's why you do have mothers with twins, fraternal twins with different daddies.
What do
But
you
I
think
just
it
don't.
does to the energy of in the womb?
It pulls it, it drains it, it makes it more susceptible to outside interferences. You can't protect it like you would want to, no matter what you do. It weakens. It weakens the uterus because now the uterus has to take on two life forms. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's why they don't say not to have sex when you're pregnant, but here's the thing, there are ways to do it. I don't want to go too deep for some people, but there are positions that women should, if they want to involve themselves in that, they have to be in certain type of positions, honestly. um when women ovulate, and this is for you, if they know their ovulations, and I know you're a sexual being, if you could, I'm saying this, I know you're gonna cringe, hold off for 72 hours, because what this does allow your sperm to build up in your vas deferens in your testicles. Okay, there's four parts to it, and so while sperm develops in your testicles, it needs the vas deferens and that tunnel to alpha the protection to come out to withstand, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And then you don't want to divide. when you're speaking of her getting pregnant by another woman. Now she's taking on two spirits. How draining is that? There is no way in hell your body is gonna be ran through, and it's just not going to conform.
Hmm.
And on the male reproductive, there's a site. It's called thevisiblebody.com. If you ever get a chance to it, and just looking up the production of the male reproductive system, it will tell you the things that I'm telling you. And the seminal vesicle is where the protection comes in. So we know you can, but now these women have to get their bodies in line, and
The body is a
they need
reflection of the mind.
right.
And I know that for
It,
sure because for a woman to have my child, and I keep saying this, she has to be in submission to my mind and want it. She has to really desire it, and it cannot be any distractions or anything else. Like it has to be like, you
and
know.
that's true. And I know you may look at some of your past wives' videos, but in all of them, when not upset, she wishes you the best. This is just something I want to pass to you. And she does that because she has baby Ellie and she doesn't want anything to happen to you. But of course she's mad. And I'm not even going to go into that from what I see and what Spirit says. But with the ones that are there that are trying, that stop hopping on that. Oh, I'm 4 days late, da da da. You speaking out something that the others don't want to hear, and they're gonna send that energy to you, and bam, that period comes. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's something only you and her should
Why
share.
you said no to
Until
material? Why you said no to material? Because material still wants solar.
okay, I'll inbox you on this, but I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm gonna inbox you, but I'm gonna tell you it.
No, but I'm inbox you more in depth.
She's listening right
Her,
now. She's in the chat. So whatever.
that's fine. Her purpose was interruption. I'm sorry. She came there to interrupt the process. There is no way in hell, after watching all those videos and her agreeing with those who were against you, will it come to pass. You can't see stuff because you're up close, loving on her, sexing her. No, absolutely not.
Explain interruption.
I don't know this, but just like this, there may have been a lot of stuff happen upon her return that would never have happened had she not.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. What you're
I
saying?
don't know. See, I'm not there with you. I can only speak from spirit. I'm not a religion, all that. I'm not that. Okay.
No,
I'm
keep
spiritual.
going because you kind of trying to understand
Okay.
what you're saying.
From list, I watched. Of course, her lives are out there, and she said, "No, Baba G, I don't feel that way." Then she tell you she's having dreams of solar and XYZ. Her spirit is like you're forcing her to be with you. She wants the what's the shit they call this on Facebook? Clout or whatever. To be seen. You know, I got his tattoo X, Y, and Z. The pure intentions is either to set you up, get rid of you, or be higher than you. Very prevalent when looking at her and listening to her. Extremely. I'm not I
But
fear
she
no
wants to
man.
be with
So
Solar. Well, how do you feel about that? Because I've let her go back to the village. She's no longer my wife right now.
right.
She went back to the village, and
She doesn't know who she wants to be with. And I don't know the realm of it, but I guarantee you she's been with more than just you and Solar.
of course,
See, I didn't know that. So when she came back, she left and thought she was going to be received like Nana. The same thing with the others. They need to get that out of their head. But she talked, like I said, she may be someone put in place to, what did she talk about or who did she talk to before coming back to you? You can you read between those lines? I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely inbox you. So watch that, and you have a strong spirit and the spirit of discernment. You'll pick it up with her and see her whole thing is to now I'm here and look at the other women and have them feel some kind of way, and that's not right. He
Hmm.
took me back too. He took me back too. No, he allowed you back into his circle, but let her stay out there with
Well, IMU
Zoloft.
is in the chat right now. Is it fine if she comes up and speaks for herself?
I have no problem with that. If she can handle me, I can handle her.
Okay, sure.
Peace, God.
Peace reflections.
Hey, I really, really appreciate everything you've been saying and it's 11:11 up to this point. Because it's
Okay.
like I feel like I'm being misunderstood
Right.
a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I'm coming
So
off with a little bit of a I can't really hear. I'm coming off with a
The
little bit
echo
of
is coming
echo.
from you. I'm gonna call you mama because you remind me of a mother spirit.
that's
Um,
fine. Well, I have nothing on here. Um.
I'm gonna go farther.
Okay. Yeah.
no,
Nataria.
it's mama because mama it's been doing that ever since you've been on, but we've been because you're so cool, we've been like listening past it. I don't know if you
Okay.
can mute your mic.
Let me see.
See.
Can you mute your mic?
How is that?
That's better. Let me see. Yeah, that's better.
How? Well,
That's way
I
better.
turned it down.
Okay, then that's better. Then
'Cause
Okay.
Nataria,
Hey, I'm IMU now. I'm thankful.
I am you.
Yeah.
Okay. You left this man.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm just gonna speak facts.
Yeah.
You left him.
Mhm.
You got with ex members, and in some videos you didn't speak, but you acknowledged the disdain they put on him. Mm-hmm. You spoke with Nana, and that's why she said she would never fuck with you again. Woman to woman,
Mhm.
there is no way in hell I would have you around me. And I don't know what you do outside of this, but you need to clean up inside. You need to journal, write, whatever you do,
Mhm.
because you cannot embody a man when you have all this other trash in your mind. Like you spoke on the members when you left, and I know you said some out of anger, but in anger, the truth comes through, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So, and I know, and I don't have to be there, that Nature Boy has his drawbacks with you. I'm not there, but I
Mhm.
know he does, because each time Nana came back, she had her baby, and she tell you she always protected, had the best interest of heart for him.
Mhm.
She never got on live, never did any of that. But the first thing you did when you left, you downed him. And when
No,
you
that's not
down a soul, huh?
the first thing I did when I left is I tried to go live and express my truth, and I stopped talking for a while because we had a conversation privately saying you don't want to say anything that you know would jeopardize him, and I said
Right.
the fact. And after Star came back and she told me what happened to Nana, which I really didn't agree with, that
Hmm.
I just want to do the right thing, and I just
Right.
stopped speaking. I thought that was bringing stuff to justice, but it was just adding fuel to the fire. It wasn't a smart thing to do.
Okay. And you still have the right, the space, the time to get it right.
You're right.
But you really have to go, you have to sit with yourself, as the older people would say.
Mhm.
You have to proclaim that You are worth so much in this life. You hold a beautiful power. But I can't back away from the spirit saying you knew you wanted Solar,
Hmm.
but you made the other women's life living hell because you there with Baba G and you just there taking up space. Does that make sense to you?
I can understand that perspective. I just came in and been myself, and it makes people uneasy, nervous if they don't have a strong sense of self, if they have insecurities and everything like that. I definitely didn't want to cause any trauma or, turmoil between the women. That's why I kind of like was kind of skeptical about being pregnant. One of the reasons. But I understand the perspective as if I came in interrupting anything. But I just
Mhm.
came in just being me.
But wouldn't you
And
be interrupting Soka and Solar's relationship by
That's
deciding to
exactly
go?
what I was getting ready to get to. That's exactly where I
um
was going with
so
that.
people don't know this, but before Zoka and Sola got together, I was planning to come back to be Solar's wife anyway.
But you can't. Okay,
That
in order to be his, just like you guys agree with the polygamy,
You
that
mean
stuff.
after
I don't.
she lost the baby?
I mean, not at right after, like when everyone was
But
like
it was
into.
after they lost the
But it
baby.
was after that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying like right after, like, oh, like a week or two. I'm talking about when everybody was moving on and everybody was trying
No,
to
no.
get
No, no,
right
no,
Uh,
no,
into.
no.
uh, uh,
The
uh, uh,
spirit
uh,
of
uh.
their
No.
child being
And
lost
if
is
that's wrong
between
of me,
them.
that's wrong of me. That's if
I
that's
am
wrong of me,
you.
that's
I
wrong.
am you. I am you. The
Yes.
spirit of their child being lost between them is there. Like, if you lose
Right.
a child with somebody, it's like it's in
It's
the
unshakable
atmosphere.
bond.
It's
Right.
in the atmosphere. And you're gonna
Hmm.
come in between that trauma that they're healing from and be with Solar. Are you thinking?
No, no,
You
I didn't think about that, and that's something I had to take in accountability. That's why I said, like, if we
okay?
have still things to
You
heal,
you
like, I
say
don't want
that. You say
that. Right.
that at you, but I'm gonna go shit on that
Hmm.
because you watched the process. You knew it firsthand. No one hid anything from you. A child leaving, and you said the women basically were jealous of you because you speak up. They all speak up. You
Huh?
overspeak. You
Yeah.
overstate stuff, but you do it because baby, you're insecure.
Um. Okay. I do have insecure tendencies. I'm not gonna lie and tell you
Right. So people
that.
with insecure tendencies
But
have a
uh-huh.
way of trying to make other people feel their insecurities. And unfortunately, like with Aya, it can't work. With Malia, it can't work. It may get to Ephraim and she has the crazy face, but with those two, it can't work. Why
Um.
can't you just be by yourself?
And that's fine. If I'm by
Be
myself,
there, work.
and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working, and that's what I told Baba G. At the same time, I feel like that's misunderstood because I'm not trying to project my insecurities on anyone. If anything, I'm always uplifting the women, and you can ask them that.
Okay.
Why
And
are you
delivery is
always so?
everything.
This is my point with you, IMU. Why are you
Uh,
always so defensive
Right.
I'm
instead of
not.
being able to see your mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
be like, yo, yeah, that's fucked
My
up.
bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
that's facts. I guess it's because I feel like I was being misunderstood. But you're right. Like I definitely should take accountability for my actions. It was unwise of me to try to step into a relationship or just step into
Let's do
Sola's life
this.
knowing
Let's
he
do
just
this.
lost a
Let's do this
child.
right now. Let's do this right now.
You're
I'm
right.
being called. And can you turn your volume down a little bit, mama? Because we about to get deep into something. This is
Gotcha.
about to get real.
Right.
Because something needs to happen. And I'm feeling that it needs to happen because it's not going to we're not going to be able to move forward truly um
Right.
without addressing this shit.
Okay.
And
We
I'm sorry. I did not
we
try to stir up
need
No,
anything,
it's
but I
fine.
just
This
had
needed
to
to
talk
happen.
to you.
we
It needed
need
to
to
happen.
address Prince York. If we don't address that, your spiritual journey you cannot heal until you publicly address that shit. Things you told me, don't even worry because nigga ain't pulling up on me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You see the type of shit I got over here. You know you're safe over here. But you need to publicly tell your truth because if you don't, you're never going to release that energy. You're always going to have that energy on you here, and it's here. It's here. You brought it here, and it needs to be released. Or we're going to
Exactly.
carry that baggage by carrying on to you. And if you cannot talk about this publicly, I have to let you go because you're carrying that energy and you're not letting it out. You're holding those things with you, and it needs to be released. If it can't be
Na-
released, I can't help you. This can't
Nature
help you.
boy, your spirit realm is not going to allow her in. I'm sorry,
No,
because
no,
it protects you.
Mm-mm.
It protects you
that's
without
not
you
true.
even knowing it.
It doesn't
Mm-mm.
have to be true. If she has the strength,
Oh, she's very powerful. And she's very articulate. That's why I can't buy
if she has the I believe that if Mama I has the strength to face her demons, that she can hold this magnetic field with us and be a very powerful entity in enhancing what we're doing. As she can completely die, she has to become pure again. Her heart needs to become light again. It cannot
right
become
to
light
die
with
and to
her
be born
holding,
again. Yes,
she's holding this weight with her here. She knows what I'm talking about because
I
she's
know what you're talking
afraid.
about, and you don't have to tell me. Um, I
She
am
needs
you.
to do it and know that you're going to be protected because you did the right thing and did the right thing and said the right thing. And even if that comes with consequence, face that shit because it's the right thing to do.
So I am you. I know you're out in nature. If you could get with and this sounds crazy to people listening, next to a tree. The tree is the strongest thing you can have. You need to let
Especially on the
shit
streets of right.
out. You need to let shit out. Let it
No, it's not
go.
even the tree. It's because she's been public with it. She has
Right.
to do it. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mama, let her talk because she knows that it has to be publicly done for her to truly heal. Because she did it publicly, it has to be done publicly. She lied publicly, she has to tell the truth publicly. She has to do it. And I'm sorry, but she knows she does. With or without me, she has to do it for her to heal. Or she will forever carry this spirit on her wherever she goes. You will not be released. You will not become the old person you used to be when you had that pure heart that you used to have. You will never be that person no more until you come clean about everything in your experience. And you have to trust that the universe will protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And if you don't feel that that's true, and that just came to me, that was not something I planned. That just literally came through me.
Okay.
It literally in this moment came through me. Like it needs to be.
That was
Nature
Ex-
boy,
yeah.
ask her to repeat what you just said to her.
Can you repeat what I just said to you?
you're telling me to release this baggage, this karma, this spirit of untruth, and
Because you're walking around with it and you're here with it. You're literally here with it. And it's not like we don't have enough baggage that people are holding on to from Malia and everyone
right.
else secretly,
Exactly.
you know? And What's wrong? You gotta understand that you're harming people.
Okay, I'm looking at you, Nature Boy. When you asked her to do it, she still couldn't do it.
Is
She is
I'm not
about to
gonna
do it.
lie,
I know her. She's
right?
about to do it.
She
I know
knows
her.
me. She knows my
No,
heart.
I'm saying when I said the part for her to
No,
repeat back
listen,
what we
mom,
all
mom,
heard.
yeah,
He
mom,
interrupted me.
mom, listen,
Okay.
listen. She,
Like you already have a idea of me, and
Okay.
I
you can't, mom. Let her do. Don't get in the way now. You're being a distraction. Like, don't
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
let it happen because she needs it to happen. And if she doesn't, then you're not going to be able to be here long. You're not going to be able to be on any kind of righteous path long. You're going to have to do it.
right. Um, I'm a bit scared, as I
But you're
told you.
protected. You're definitely protected.
Um, so um, when it comes down to the spirit that he's telling me that I carry, I have
Mhm.
since I've first been in carbonation. Babaji's addressing that I've now developed a tendency to cover things up, not as openly express
Lie.
as much, like,
Lie.
and yeah, not being honest about how I feel is because I went through a lot of traumatic experiences dealing with Prince York. So I'm trying. I'm sorry. I apologize if I come off like weak and shit. I'm really trying
No,
to like
no.
address it and
We're here
Be,
for
just
you.
be
Take your
not
brave.
be
time, sweetheart.
scared.
Just be brave. Just let it go. Let it go. Because if you don't let it go, it's going to stay with you. What you told me, that shit has to be let go, bro. Like, you can't, like, not let that go. If you don't, it's bigger than you.
Right. Um. So I've I've had I've protected him a lot. I've had, sexual relations. God, that's the first thing that I feel released now.
Okay.
Um,
You guys put hearts in the comment. Give her strength. Send your energy to her. Give her strength. Send her hearts. We got you, baby.
So basically, he wanted to hide the fact that he had sex with you
he wanted
at
to
all.
hide the fact that he had, yeah, relations with me at all. And
Yeah.
that's the
And
big, go ahead.
and you were protecting his public image
Right.
because you
Um,
felt scared because he threatened your life before.
he's he's always been, you know,
You
telling
told me the
me,
nigga came and told you he could pull up to your house at any time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had you scared.
yeah, because just like you told me, like, I was disrespecting him by talking to him crazy, like, telling him like, leave me alone and all this other stuff. Like I
But
was talking
he
to him
had
like,
you shook. That's why you protected him.
yeah, and not just
Oh.
because of that, because I actually cared for him.
You
I
cared
truly
for
did.
him, and also you told me you were afraid that he could pull up on you and hurt you, or have people track you down. You said that you came here thinking
Or
that
slash I,
he was tracking you
yeah.
down.
Yeah, when I went to TKO, he had this person look up my plane tickets where I went after he saw that I was with another person, and he has the ability to look through my messages on my phone by this person. And I thought, at one point I thought, because everybody knew where we were going while we was traveling like me, Baba G, and the women. So at one point, I thought he was tracking me, but I was like, nah, that couldn't be it. That can't be it. But I just went through a lot of traumatic, things, and he don't see it that way. He sees it as
So
I'm
basically,
the
you were
more
telling me
powerful.
that you had sexual relationships with him a lot, and he hid you. He hid you from saying that you was his girl. He made you.
Yeah,
He
he made
basically
me lie.
he never wanted you to be his wife. He talked down on you, made you feel
Yeah,
bad. Um,
yeah. It made me feel like shit. Like he would never, take me as a second wife, but I could be a possible, girlfriend and
and
concubine. But then he would take that
he
away
wouldn't have
too. So
he had sex with you in your mouth, and he called your mouth the holy place. And
So
he asked you if he was better than me, and you told him that he wasn't, and he was mad about that. Go ahead, tell him all. Tell him all. Let it all out.
Nature
um,
Boy, with
Hold on,
her
hold on, hold
finishing
on,
what
hold
she's
on.
gonna say.
Let her talk. I don't want to drop her.
No,
Let her
I'm
talk.
sorry,
Let her
but
talk.
I'm just saying, look how she's bringing that back into the circle.
What you mean?
man, everybody
That
has
hurt
baggage.
from that guy, how he did her.
Yeah, she's holding on to this. She needs to release it to be
Right,
here, and she's doing that right now.
right. Okay,
All right,
thanks.
yeah, I still
I'm
have
bringing it
hurt
up
from.
because at the end of the day, I know it's part of her healing.
Okay.
She can't hold on to that shit. What she told me, I don't even know if it's true. I don't know, but in her mind, it's true. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say because women be tripping. Women be seeing people perceive what happened to them from their perspective, right? So this is her truth from her perspective. I'm not saying this shit is true. I'm saying she needs to release her truth publicly about how she feels. You know what I'm saying? And if she don't do that, then she's gonna carry that shit here in my environment. And I know she wants to be here, but she has to do it, and I want her to do it for herself. Period.
Hmm.
Facts. Even if it doesn't happen now, it's gonna happen. It's gonna have to happen some other way because that's what
But you
the
definitely
universe wants.
protected here. You know that.
Yeah. Um, with him, I definitely protected his image. That's why people kept seeing me going back and forth with him because I didn't want to like really be in a lie. Um, but I couldn't let him go. I really was attached. Um, so when it came down
But what
to
attached you to him was your Capricorn energy wanting status. Because he had status because of his father's name. So you
I wanted
wanted
to feel like
status. Huh?
I feel like I wanted to belong to something too.
Yeah, like
Something that
you
I had.
have to realize you're the type of person that wants status in life.
I mean,
That's
that's true. Yeah,
yeah, you
that's
need to you
definitely
need
true.
to you need to own up to that shit. Like you need to like
Oh yeah,
own it.
that's facts.
Own it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you
that's
knew
definitely.
that being with Dr. York and Hope, Dr. York's son would make you somebody important. So
I absolutely
people call it
somebody
clout.
with.
People call it clout. You just want recognition and you want to feel powerful as that Capricorn energy does. And that needs to be said to the public out loud because if you sneakily do that, it makes it look like you're vindictively doing it when it's just
I
your
like
nature to want to be somebody.
right. Yeah, I definitely I have a Venus in the 10th house. Like I know that I'm going to naturally be with someone who has status anyway.
But if you try to make
And yeah,
yourself
I did
seem
like
like it's
how
not,
he.
it makes it seem like you're kind of sneaky doing it, and it looks like it's clout.
But that's not the intention. That's not ever the intention. I know that I feel like I always go ahead and be with someone with who has power, status, money, and everything. But I really just attract that in my life. That's what I feel like. And like, yes, I loved how we looked together. Like I thought we could be like some kind of power team couple thing going on, raising the vibration and saying, knowledge and, preaching the gospel. Like I really thought we could be something, but he wasn't
Let
really
me
trying to
make this
take it all the way
disclaimer
there with me.
known. I have a high respect for Dr. Z York. When
Yeah,
I
his
say that for
father.
what his work was done and what he's done as far as raising the vibration of the free, I don't care what I don't know the exact knowledge, but when it comes to his father, I have a high respect for what that man did for black people and raising the consciousness and awareness, just the conversations that we have because of that man I respect him. I don't know his son. I don't have nothing against him, and I don't know if this shit is true or not. All I know is she told me this, and this is her truth, and she has every right to get that shit off her chest, whether it's true or not. And if she doesn't get it off her chest, y'all can do whatever y'all want with it. She needs to get it off her chest. That's her truth. Period.
Yeah, I definitely fell in love with him. I wanted to be with him in every way. He wasn't having that, but at the same time, he was. I don't know. It was like confusing to me. So I kind of wanted to stay away from it, but I felt like every time I went really right back because I was attached to him, and I really respected. I started to respect more his father's teachings because I know his father's teachings really boosted up everybody in the conscious community. But he was trying to like not hide away that his
So
what
basically,
he's
he had
doing
a
now
secret
and his
affair
dad's
with you.
teachings.
A secret affair because he's married, right? He's got a wife, and so he had a secret affair with you. You didn't want it to be public, and but you were treated in a way that you didn't want to be treated.
Right. I was treated I was just treated confused, bro. I don't really know what it was about because when I would tell people like my family, my sister about it or someone about it, they'd be like, "Yo, what's that?" And but then he'd be flipping it on me like I'm the problem, and I'm just like, nah, like I know I'm not like always the problem. I know I can own up to some shit. Like I got some ways about myself, but I know I'm not always the problem. So it kind of was confusing to where he wanted me in his life. So I just wanted to stay out of it sometimes. And that's why I never really went back to him the last time because I knew if I put myself back in that cycle, it just would have been never ending. So even though I cared about him and I wanted to see him
What do
grow,
you think you did wrong
what
in the
happened?
relationship? What do you think you did wrong in the relationship? And I wanna invite him on the panel if anybody knows him. If he wants to come defend himself, he's more than welcome to come here. I'm in the middle of it. She just telling her truth. If he wants to come defend himself, he can. I think it would be therapeutic for him to come up and talk. But if he just wants to talk to me, he can always talk to her publicly. I will open my
He doesn't do the
platform.
public thing. That's why I never did it. I wanted to
No,
respect
because your
the
relationship was
private.
public and it was put out as a lie. Because you lied. You said you didn't have sex with him.
I did lie. I lied multiple times about his character, who he is. I was lied to.
What is
The
your
reason why
perception of his character?
um I could say he could be. Yeah. The
You
thing is,
told
you own
me
up that you're a narcissist, but he don't own that. I mean, he says things like he don't whatever he does is okay, and sometimes it just not be okay. It just be like, what the fuck you really doing? Like it is mentally abusive. It's emotionally draining. It's exhausting. I'm, you're like it was crazy. I'm not gonna say we
so.
didn't have
Rose,
good
you
moments,
saying
but
hold on real quick. Rose,
Rose
you
don't know what she's talking about.
Rose,
She's a
listen,
one
listen,
someone
Rose,
who
you're
comes
All
from
right.
Rose, I want
wild.
hold on, bro, before you start talking. I want you to understand. You're like everyone else with your own opinion. You weren't there.
Right.
You weren't there.
She wasn't.
Listen, Rose, listen, Rose. You might see things like a lady that called in. I respect people's opinion that are objective. You know what I'm saying? Like that touch something true that's going on. And we have nothing to hide. So but I want you to know that your opinion is like everyone else's. It's just an opinion. And I
All
want
right.
you to understand you have every right to how you feel in your opinion, but try to base your opinion in like objectivity. Don't just like be just saying shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna, cause you're messy. Somebody just said it. You're messy. You over there with
Yeah.
you do a lot and you
All
moving in a
right. So
lot of
check this out.
ways.
So check this out. So check this out. So check this out.
I lost all
Because I'm
respect.
not really here. I'm not here really here for all that. What I'm here to let you know is I literally told you all the shit that she was about to do. She did it. That's
No,
all I'm
you
saying.
didn't. What did you
Literally,
say that she was
yes,
gonna
she
do that she
did.
did?
Yes, she did.
Mm.
I literally told you, and you can go back on YouTube and look that shit up. Everything that I told you she's doing right now, she's doing it. She's
What am I
What
currently
did
doing
you
right
doing
now,
it.
say?
though?
I want no, cause you just
I
said that.
told
Yo,
you
one thing
straight
about you,
up.
hold on.
I told you
Hold on,
What
straight
you
am
on
up.
I
my
doing
Shorty was
right
platform. You on
coming
my
up there.
platform. You on my platform.
I told
You're
you
gonna
straight up.
respect my
Shorty was
presence
coming
on my
there.
platform. I will hang up. I will hang up. You're gonna respect my presence on my
now? Please
presence.
do.
Let's have some disclaimers. Let's create some order. You on my platform. Don't talk over me. When I'm talking, don't talk over me. You know what I'm saying? I might interrupt you, but you're in my house. So what I'm gonna say is this. Rose, Mind your business. You should not be this
Nigga, she
emotional.
came and
You
told
should
me
not.
this
I
shit.
know. Listen, listen, listen,
She
listen,
she's
I
listen.
ain't
sitting up
tell
here
you
Listen. Hold
capping,
up,
shit,
hold up,
bro.
hold up,
bro.
hold up, hold up,
It
hold
ain't
up, hold
about
up.
none of
I ain't tell you
Something
nothing.
in.
I ain't tell you
Stop talking.
nothing.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
She lying,
Something
bro.
in. Something in Mama I triggers Rose very deeply. Whatever it is, I'm gonna ask you, Rose, to look deep within yourself and ask yourself, why does Mama I, some random individual online, and what she's doing trigger you so deeply and emotionally that you just gotta talk about it. You have to obsess with her. Something
Right.
is going on with Rose deeply that you trigger, and I'm gonna ask Rose, instead of deflecting, to actually look at why is it so important for you to have an opinion about somebody else's life if it doesn't trigger you deep into your traumas. So let's look into you and why that bothers you so bad. This is someone you don't know. It shouldn't bother you to that point. We're minding each other's business because it's put out there. But it shouldn't be that much of a thing to you to the point where you have to get emotional about it and you have to say, I said this and I said that. Calm down.
It's crazy.
Relax. It's not that serious. You have to live your own life, Rose. And I always ask you this question. Talking about somebody else, what is it doing for you? Right? Because a lot of people feed off of other people's energy and you're not talking to you. What is it doing for you? What is it doing for you? Like, what is this? What does it benefit you? Right? So, and again, when you come up here and I'm talking, I might cut you off because you're in my house. Don't talk over me. I will let you back up when I feel comfortable enough to. But if you're not going to have the control that you need over your emotions, then you can go on your platform and obsess with material, which has nothing to do with
Fact.
bettering your personal life. It has nothing to do with bettering your personal life unless you're going to look deep inside yourself and say, why am I so triggered by Mama I? What is it in me that triggers me to the point that I have to have this opinion? We got to look at that, bro. It shouldn't be that serious.
I'm
Um,
waiting because we never had private conversations. I never told her
You
I don't know
never
what
met her
she's talking about.
before. You don't know her
Never met
personally.
her.
It'd be
Don't
different
have
if
her
you knew
number.
the person
Nothing. Like we
personally,
met
so you
on
could be
Bigo.
right. You met on Bigo. You don't know each other personally. Why are you so? Is it clout? Is it because you want to get
It's
involved in what's trending
cloud.
because of the numbers? Or are you looking at the numbers and saying,
Yes.
"Oh, this is trending. Let me get myself involved so that I can make more money, or I can be involved in what's hot." You see what I'm saying? And are you trying to get yourself involved in what's hot? What is it? I need to know your intentions because you shouldn't be this emotionally invested in anything. It's not that serious. It's called clout chasing. And
Facts.
we have no time for that. If you're going to come up here and give advice or you're going to say, oh, I don't like that bitch, she did this, she did that, so what? You can't judge nobody. You're not perfect. None of you are perfect. You sit here and watch somebody's public life and you scrutinize and criticize somebody as if you're not, if you're perfect, if you're in the judge seat and I did nothing wrong, so I have the right to call in and say that you are da-da-da-da-da. Motherfucker, you ain't shit either. Okay, so don't be the first one to cast these stones. So just relax. Okay? Because if we turned the camera on your life, we could definitely criticize and scrutinize that shit to the fucking T. Um, but let me get the charger. The charger. All right, so Nateri, your truth.
Right.
And we're not saying that this is the truth, right? Because there's always more than one side of the story. We're just saying that this is
Fact.
your truth. Anytime you hear somebody
Right.
talk, don't take it as fact. We're not taking that this actually happened. This is in her mind what she perceived that happened. And it's very serious
Right.
to her because of the simple fact that it's real in her mind. This is her reality and what happened to her. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yes.
don't be ashamed of telling your perception and what happened to you from your perception.
I'm thankful. So I want to address some rumors that was brought to the public by Shaka. There was a situation where I had told Tron that I had developed bruises on my legs because of the play fighting that me and him would be doing. Um, just it was just play fighting for him. You know, for me, I would tell him stop hitting me. I don't want to fight. I would defend myself, and he just take it as just playing. So for those that was in the comments saying did he really hit her and all this other stuff, I mean, nah, not full on abuse, like
So basically,
thrashing with
like,
me.
let me try to make this clear. Let me get this clear. So basically, he would, when you entered the room, would come play fight with you and punch you and kick you in the leg, but it was play fight, but you didn't want it. You like, yo, stop, and he wouldn't stop.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, if you
And
tell somebody
that's
to
what,
stop hitting you, and they keep hitting you,
yeah,
and then you got a bruise on
right.
your leg,
Many bruises, yeah.
but this is your
Mm,
truth. This is your perception. This is what happened in your mind.
right, right. In my perspective, in my perception, that's what happened. Like,
That's
and
just the
when
way
I
he was
had
playing with you.
addressed it to,
That's
yeah,
just the way he's
that's how he
playing.
plays. He plays rough. And when I had told that to multiple people, like Tron went on and told Shaka, and then Shaka and Tron got riled up because they didn't want, at the time they were fucking with me, so they didn't want me being hurt in any type of way, shape, or form. And but they never pulled up on him because they diffuse it. They know who he is. That's why I don't want to talk about him, because he's somebody who just has power, and I'm not trying to start any problems. I'm not trying to do any. I just kept my mouth shut because I'm not trying to you know do that with him. I know him. I've dealt with him for 9-10 months. I know him, so I'm not trying to rile him up or get him started, because he don't do mess like that. He don't like publicity. He likes to keep his life private. But the way my life is set up, my life ain't private.
But he
It
was
was it's
public with
public.
you in your life.
Right. And as my teacher, which he was, but also he was my lover. And I was kind of upset that I couldn't come out with that.
So he didn't want to make
But
it public. In your mind,
no,
you're saying that he had sex with you a lot, but he claimed that he didn't have sex with you, that he was just your teacher.
right. Like
And he
we were
had you
sisters.
tell the public that same thing.
Right.
And in your mind, you know you had sex with him.
Yeah. And that's what kind of eat me up, like mentally. Because I'm just
But
like,
you felt
I'm,
hidden.
yeah, I felt hidden. I don't like to be hidden. I don't, I've been doing, like,
Did you
people
feel like
hit
a
me a lot.
side? Did you feel like a side piece?
Yeah. I felt like I was just there for his amusement, his
So you
pleasure.
said
And he would say,
you told me that he just called you on the phone and said, I'm coming through to get some head. And a lot of times it was just him, you swallowing his cum.
Baba. Okay, yeah. And we did have a relationship, but just not public. It was not, he wouldn't even call it a relationship. I don't know what it was to him. All I know was I
You
was
said that
showing
he
him.
called your mouth the holy place. That he was coming, you gave him head a lot and you swallowed his sperm a lot.
Yes, yes, Baba. That's why I
And
did.
that he didn't really like to have sex with you in your vagina. He only wanted to have sex with you in your anal.
Yeah, because he was skeptical about,
You
you
getting
know,
pregnant.
yeah, he didn't want me being pregnant at all. Like
So
he didn't
y'all
want to
did
have a,
anal more than vaginal.
yes.
This is what happened in her mind. I'm not saying that's true. It's her side. She has every right to tell what happened in her perception and her mind. I'm not saying that this is true. The man said, could it be like, that ain't happened. But in her mind, it happened. And that's all that matters to her for her healing, is that she let that out, that this happened in her mind and her perception. This is her perception.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is your perception. This is your truth. We're not saying that this is facts. I'm not saying it. She is. She's saying like, this is what happened. But I would never judge it at that's actually what happened. What I'm saying is you need to let that out. You can't just carry that around here. You know what I'm saying? Let that out, and then let's move forward with our lives.
But yeah, I understand. And you're saying just to know that I'm protected by the universe.
Shit,
I
you
just
protected by
constantly
me
feel
now.
scared
You
to go out.
mine. Shit, you protected by me now. Ain't gonna be no problems with you. You with me because you protected by me. Feel what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. Not gonna let nothing happen to you when you with me at all. Period.
Okay.
So you let it out the box. You did have an affair with Prince
Yeah.
York in your mind. This happened in your mind. This is what happened. This is your truth. You're saying I had an affair with him. I had to hide myself. Here it is. I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm letting it
Yeah.
out. I'm letting this off my chest because people need to know. And then you said to me that he's not who he portrays to be.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I left him alone, which was the reason I wanted, but the main reason why I left him alone is because three people had to come to me and tell me he's not who he says he is. People who's been in the Nuwapian nation, who's been, you know, even his brothers and sisters was telling me like, yo, he's a nut. Like, you, what are you doing? Like, you just place yourself in a sticky situation. That what the religion is not even a
You're
real
saying that
religion.
you're saying from your perception that you were told by people that he wasn't his age, that he's not as old as he said he is, that you
Yeah,
said you've seen him using dye on his beard, that he's not as old as what was said that his age really was.
22, 23.
And you said you seen him yourself putting gray dye in his beard.
Yes, I mean, but that's just evident. Like everybody knew that that was just not real.
This is your perception. I'm not saying this is true. This is her perception. This is her truth. Let it out, and it is what it is. And let it go. Let's move forward. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a
So,
fact. I just got a question though. If I really, and I just want to just let this out. Just I'm getting guidance and counsel as I'm doing this. Um, if I love someone or I care about someone, should I not like? That's why I did if I had hid stuff for so long. Should I just keep their shit private?
but my thing
No matter,
is, you keeping it private. Is it eating you up? Is it you're holding on to a lie?
right?
Is that eating
And
you up? What is that doing for you? Because when you die, you got to die for you. You don't got to die for these people. You got to die for you.
right. I just feel like a burning sensation in my chest, and I
The
feel like
burning
the
sensation is
fear.
always coming from a thought. Is it coming from what kind of thought?
Yeah. Um, what would he do to me? Like what am I doing? I really cared about this man and now I'm telling all his
Well, so
business. And
now you're afraid of him.
yeah, I feel like the fear was what kept me from saying things in the first
But
place because I'm
fear is fear. We all going to die, but you could die. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, but everybody going to die. Death is just a part of motherfucking reality. If anything happened to you, it's going to be public that he has something to do with it. Period. That's just period. Because you said something. If something happened to you, he going to be investigated on the shit. So it just is what it is, my nigga. Like, I just couldn't have you carrying that shit around over here. But don't never be scared to be real and be righteous and do the right thing. You never was before. You're going to be
right,
judged. People going to judge you, whoop-de-whoop, but it is what it is.
right.
It is
And
what it
that's
is.
I'm
And
still
we're
is
not saying
been
we're not saying
fight
that
for.
this is true.